Hey guys, thanks for coming to the channel 180 Blog Pass. I'm your host, Destiny. Today, we're going to go real quick because race day is like today. What are your picks? What are you thinking? I kind of want to cover 450 today because I'm just ecstatic about what's going on in the 450 class. I mean, we have like top tier athletes right now, and we are living the best days as fans. Eli Tomac is here. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Everyone's saying this is his last one. They said that a couple years ago. I've watched the episode of Gypsy Tales with Eli Tomac for the whole 3 hours. It was great. And he said winning is addictive. So, I mean, it's possible he'll stay. I'm going to go over some facts and some notes I took from some interviews from yesterday at San Diego. And there's a lot of interesting things. So before we jump to conclusion, let's go over these facts together and then put your comments down below on who you think is going to take it for 450s. And go ahead for 250s. I don't know how much we're going to go over with 250s because I'm just ecstatic about the 450s. And honestly, that's all I care about right now. I'm just being honest because, I mean, the field is so stacked. If Anaheim 1 wasn't just a fluke, and we're going back and forth like that, it's gonna be an insane season. I hope that it just comes down to the wire. And I know if it does come down to the wire, like the last race, whoever's in second is gonna beat themselves up for the rest of their lives. That's sad, but hey, for us, the consumer, let's go. I'm gonna say some of the things I learned from what HRC Honda has done and we're doing, and I still don't know, but I'll say this. I think this is kind of a safe answer, but Jett's gonna be on the podium. Tonight, for sure, Jett is going to be on the podium. The reason I say that is with an interview I watched of Jett talked about the gearing situation. So he basically said in a nutshell, I'm paraphrasing mind you, first gear was just unusable. You're not going to get good starts if you're popping wheelies, down the line, stuff like that. So from what I'm understanding, the gear ratio just wasn't working for him. And actually, after watching the interview on Gypsy Tales with Eli Tomac and him explaining further gear ratios on these Supercross bikes, I'm just like, okay, that could really mess someone up. I'm gonna say for sure Jett's gonna make a podium. I don't know which one because anything can happen, but he's gonna be on the stand 100%. One thing I did notice, both brothers said this, and Joe is kind of saying this too, is there's just the balance of the bike is just not there. Obviously they're amazing athletes, they're gonna do great, but they could do better if the bike was better. So like I said, Yamaha for the win. Hunter Lawrence mentioned that the rear of the bike was a little high, and that's what they struggled with last week, and they're working on it. So 3 of the HRC riders mentioned the word balance, and Chase went to KTM, did a year, and dude's back. So I don't know what's going on with Honda. Honda, I know you're making a lot of Americans upset because you're like their American brand. It's not looking good for you guys, but they'll fix it. So one thing Hunter said in an interview that I was like, well, yeah, 100%. He was like, if one race took us out and we were miserable, we'd be terrible athletes. And he's 100% true. I think people get all hyped up and they get all trolling on the internet and they forget these dudes live and breathe riding their dirt bike. They are professionals. They've been doing it forever. They don't know anything else. I mean, they do, but that is their meat and potatoes, if you will. So attitude wise, I'm not worried about him. They'll be fine. But I was looking at some times, and Hunter just didn't seem like he was as fast when it comes to lap times from last race. And like I said before, he did mention the rear being weird and high, so maybe they fixed something this week. They had a week to figure things out. It's still early in the season, but these early races still matter because points are going to get logged. And when it comes to championship and title, every round counts. So I don't know how Jason Anderson is going to do this week. Mostly not because he's not fast or whatever. It's just that you just don't know. It's so crazy. There's other people that are just really fast. But he did say yesterday he feels more comfortable on the bike this year than last year. If anything, he'll definitely be higher up in the ranks, and I would definitely consider him for your pick. And while we're on the Kawasaki team, I think Prado is going to do well this season, but after watching last week's race, I don't know if I'm going to pick him. I think if some things happen, he'll get up there on the podium, but Supercross is just a different animal. It's a different beast, and he just dropped too many positions for me to put my faith in him when it comes to picks. So I still love him as a rider, still a fan. I know he's going to, within the years to come, he's going to be up there for sure. But right now, I think he'll make top 10 this week, but I'm not sure about a podium. I'm not even sure about top 5 if I'm being honest. And then we have Ken Roczen. I don't want to count him out on the podium. I think he's going to be in top 10 for sure. I think we can agree 100% top 10 as long as nothing stupid happens. But I mean, that's racing. So you're gambling at the end of the day. Does your mama know you're gambling? So I watched an interview with him. There's a couple things that I wasn't aware of, and now I'm kind of like, oh man, no. Electric start. I had saw some videos online that he got electric start, no more kickstart Kenny, and I was like, yes, this is what we need. Because I'm a Ken Roczen fan, obviously. Always have been, always will be. That's beside the point. Where were we? So I guess the electric start had some malfunctioning, so they kind of ditched it. So that makes me nervous. But as long as he stays up, then I guess it's fine. But I guess at the end of the day, if you stay up and you win, you don't need an electric start. You just go. So he did mention that there could be some improvements on his bike, and they have made a lot of improvements. But he also said right now he's comfortable enough. He doesn't really want to mess with it, which I totally agree. So we'll see how round 2 goes. And I think if he does well, he might just keep it. I don't know. One thing is he's just really good with picking his lines. He's very meticulous when it comes to line work. I mean, that showed when he went flying around the sand. That was so sick. I loved that. But let's bring up Justin Barcia. Okay, I was impressed. And another thing is, like, I'm curious. I know, like, he's with the gas and he's connected to it, and, like, that's his thing. But I'm curious, if he was on another bike, like, do you think that he would do better? I want to know your opinion. I really do. Comment that below. Do you think Justin Barcia would be better on a different bike? Even so, dude was up there and it was really fun to see. I hope he stays up there. I think Justin Cooper is going to be in the top 10. I think he'll be in the top 8, like not even the top 10. He'll definitely be in the top 8, I think. What did he get last week? He got 7th. So he did drop down some. I don't know. It's still early to kind of really say anything about him, but he's going to be here this year for sure because he was there last year. So why wouldn't he be here this year? For Webb, I think he'll have some wins possibly, but I don't think I'm going to gamble on him until he shows me otherwise. Like, and I mean consecutive wins, not like one fluke win or whatever. I wasn't seeing it last year. This year I was like, well, he's moving up there. Like he's making progress, but it's round 1. So I want him to prove me wrong, but we'll see how that goes. We're going to move on to the KTMs. Aaron Plessinger, I'm going to say top 10, but I don't know. There's just so many good guys and they're riding well and they're feeling comfortable on their bikes. So it's hard to say. There really wasn't a lot of coverage on him last race. So we'll see if there's more this race. I really don't know. Obviously, I'm not going to put him on my picks. So that leads us to Chase Sexton, the winner of Anaheim 1. Round 1, dude's fast. Always has been fast, but now he's comfortable and fast. And he's older, which everyone's dogging on being old. But he's old in the sense, like, mentally, he's going to be checking boxes, feeling good. I really wish, and obviously I'm sure Eli Tomac wishes this too, I really wish Eli Tomac didn't go down because we would have had a better sense of what kind of battle really would have happened between Chase and Eli. And so hopefully for round 2, we're going to see that. So I still feel like it's too early to predict, but I do say they need to win, like now, to set the tone and set the momentum for the season. So with all this being said, I'm going to say in the top 5, it's going to be, and this is not in any order, it's going to be Jett, Chase, Tomac. I think the Jett, Chase, and Tomac, I think they're going to be on the podium. I don't know in which order, but I think they're going to be on the podium. And then the other 2 they're going to be in top 5 is going to be a toss-up between, this is like the safest answer ever. It's going to be between, I'm having a brain fart. I need to go down to the time slots. Jason Anderson was fast. So it's going to be between Ken Roczen, Jason Anderson. I think Cooper Webb will be up there again because he did go up, but I don't foresee him being on the podium, but I do foresee him being top 5. I think Hunter's going to be in the mix. And if Justin Barcia does as well as he did last race, I think he might be in the mix as well. We also had some kind of carnage and chaos going down, so that could bump him down to like 7th or 6th. And Malcolm wrecked and probably wasn't feeling the best, so he's in the mix too because they're usually in the same area when it comes to position. We'll say it's safe to say that there is Jett, Hunter, Ken, Eli, both the Coopers, Anderson, Aaron Plessinger for top 10. So the rest of these guys, there's going to have to be some freak accidents for them to get in anywhere near the podium because it is stacked. And I'm a fan. So who do you think's going to win? I guess I have to say something. So if I have to pick, I'm going to say Jett, Eli, no. Yes. If I have to pick, I'm going to say Jett, Eli, Chase. As long as no one gets hurt during the practice and qualification, that's going to be my picks. Now, that's what I think is going to happen. What I want to see happen is I would love to see Jett in third, and I would love to see Eli and Chase Sexton freaking going at it. I don't know how hard they would push each other. It's a long season. You got to survive 17 rounds, and it's only round 2. I think it would help all of us figure out who stacks up where. That's what I'm going off of. 250s. If Hayden gets a start, he's gonna be first. I would love to see Cole Davies with a podium because that's gonna be so much fun to talk about. Whoever else. Honestly, I'm so excited about the 450s. We'll do 250s next round or a recap. Oh, and just go ahead, put your 250. Who do you think is gonna be 250s? Like, comment below because I'm curious of what you guys think. So today is Saturday. It is here, so I'm gonna end this video so I can edit this thing and get it up, and we'll see what happens. See you guys after the races.